Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. And today during practice, we are going to be getting into the liver and gallbladder energy lines. So the poses that we're going to do today are going to, for the most part, kind of get into those lines. And those are just different meridians, energy lines that go from the top of the head all the way down into the feet, into the toes. So we're going to get into different body parts today. Prop wise, I'm sitting on a folded blanket. I've got two folded blankets over here. The two blocks are just going to be needed if you need them for a balance challenge, for a little stability there, but otherwise they're not really needed or going to be needed for anything else. So that being said, let's go ahead and prep. Yes, so sitting nice and tall, considering the ears, the shoulders, and the hip be in alignment as best as you can, but you also want to keep the natural curvature of the back. So we'd want to try not to flatten that out. With the eyes closed or open, let's take a moment. Is there anywhere that you could soften just a little bit more? Breathing and expanding. So we're going to open up the spine with a few little stretches here before we go into some alternate nostril breathing. So from here, let's take a big inhale, reaching the arms up, reach, 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 turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail as you come back down. Arms coming up and we'll reach and we'll press that down. Good. One more time. Taking it up. Reach, reach, reach. Let's take that side bend to the left, keeping shoulders and hips in alignment, really pressing through this opposite side. See if you can keep your arm by the ear and try not to do this forward collapse. Really open up that chest. If you do want to go a little deeper, just kind of take it just a little bit deeper into the side bend. And we'll come back up. Good. So from here, we'll take that to the other side, reaching over. All right, breathing first. And taking it down. And coming back up, both arms up, reach, reach, reach. Let's get a gentle rotation towards the left. Arms coming down, rolling the shoulders back. Zipped up nice and tall. And lifting up, moving through center, going to the other side, arms coming down, rolling the shoulders back. Breathing and expanding. And coming up and coming back to center. Good. We'll take this into some alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to take a sip of my water here. Try to always practice with water. You just never know when you might need it. Okay. So for this one, there's different ways you can do your hand. We're going to do this with the right hand. And so if you're someone who can't do this kind of Star Trek live long and prosper thing, so this is the ring finger, the pinky finger, the middle finger, the pointer finger, and the thumb. If that's not something you can do, and for the longest time I had to actually manually take my fingers in this position, that's okay. Just do the best you can do. Most importantly, you want at least one finger on one nostril and another finger over on the other nostril to go back and forth. Okay. So find it the way you need to find it. As far as, if you've got fingers in the center, some people like this little third eye connection here as you go through. That's completely optional. So you just do kind of, what you need to do, how you need to do it. The most important thing is that you're breathing, not which fingers are doing what. But because this is my habit pattern now, this is the way that I'm going to do it. So from here, just to give yourself a little test, if you've got a deviated septum, I'm not going to recommend that you do this one, just breathe, but you can close off the left nostril, breathe out, breathe in, good. And then close off the right nostril, breathe out, and breathe in. And then once you know that you're okay there, then we'll start. So from here, I'm going to take a nice big exhale. I'm going to close the left nostril. Inhale right. Pause. Close right. Open left. Exhale. Inhale. Close. Open. Exhale. Inhale. Close the right. Open left. Exhale. Inhale left. Close left. Open right. Exhale. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale. Close. Open. Exhale. Inhale. Close. Open. Exhale. And inhale. Good. Let's take a moment. Great. Hopefully that brought a little bit more of a balance to your nervous system as we get to go here. We're going to take our first yin posture to a toe squat, also known as toe balance. So I will show you what this looks like, and then I'll give you a modification because this can be hard on the knees for some people. So I like to start up here, and the closer you take the feet and the legs together, the harder you will make it. Farther apart, the easier you'll make it. And then I just come here, letting the heels lift. Now you can bring blocks in here from a balance perspective if this is where you need to be. So you can be a little bit taller. They can be out here, just wherever you need to be. And then some of you won't need it. You'll be able to come to prayer. Okay. Now for those of you that can't do that quite like I just did, then I'm going to have you take your blocks, maybe kind of lift. Good. You can bend a little bit. You can stay there. You can kind of come in and out. You can come to standing if you need to and just do a toe balance this way. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit easier on the legs in some ways, but you'll still get that balance with it. So this is a meridian that kind of goes through the feet a little bit here. So I'm going to come here and then you choose what you need to do there. I'm going to take my feet and legs a little bit closer for this one. This is going to be a 2-minute hold, starting right now. Good. Get yourself situated and breathe. Try to press evenly into your big toe and pinky toe mounds. Zip up through that center line as you breathe. And now why the liver and the gallbladder meridians? Well, we're going into the holidays, and sometimes those are organs that get a little bit sluggish because we don't always eat well. And we tend to party a little bit more, not rest well, all those kinds of things. So this is kind of more educational for you as a guide, and maybe getting things in better shape before we go into Thanksgiving and then Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's. The other reason I thought it was good to get into the liver, so the liver is associated a lot with anger, the sensation of anger. And we've got a lot of anger right now in our society following our elections last week at the time of this recording. So we'll try to tap into some of that. So if different things come up as we're doing this practice today, then just take a break, take the breath, it'll be all good. Less than 30 seconds left. Breathing, noticing what you feel and where you feel it. Any pain, numbness, tingling, burning, we don't want to stay there. Good. Here, I'm going to come out of this before I touch that stopper. Good. So come out the way you need to come out. That may not be the way that you saw me do it. Maybe you just come out and just come down to the knees here. So find the way that you need to come out. Good. Untuck the toes. Good. And then I'm just going to come back here just a little bit, I mean, that counter that a little bit. That won't be appropriate for everyone. Just kind of be mindful of that. And then once you're ready, good. Let's come into a little bit of a child's pose here. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. And take the arms long in front. We'll be here for about 1 minute. 1 minute. Breathing and expanding. And relax any tension from the face. And then when you're ready, get hands under the shoulders and we will come back up. So we're going to take this into a butterfly now. So in other um, forms of yoga, this is the cobbler's pose or the Baddha Konasana. So you bring this up. We'll do this one for 3 minutes. And so what I'm going to do here, because I want to make sure I'm really supported, is I'm going to take the soles of the feet together. And there's a couple things you can do. If you've got a couple blankets, you can put, the folded blanket just like that. If you need more support, you can fold it like that and stick under there. If you've only got one blanket, I'll show you a neat little trick. You can take your blanket, and it can be folded a little bit differently here too. And you're just going to roll it up this way. Good. And then you're going to place that blanket right across your feet. Good. And just kind of tuck this in around the feet. Good. And then you've got your prop and support that you need with one blanket. So kind of find what you need to find here. And actually, this feels pretty good to me. So I'm just going to stay right here with this one today. Good. And I'm going to sit up nice and tall to start. This is going to be 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And for those of you that need more support, if you've got a bolster, you can always, stack things under here. Um, this is another thing you can kind of do, kind of make a upside down cross or upside down T here with your blocks if you want that connection. If you need that, always options, never requirements. 3 minutes. Inhale, good. And we're just going to lean forward with a nice long back. And we don't want to go to our mat right in the beginning. We want to give our body time to sink in as it's ready to sink in. We're going to breathe deep, expand. So I'm zipped up and in that front body as well. And then just notice the longer you're here, as the body begins to sink in, and it'll want to do that on an exhale, then you can gently kind of allow yourself to forward fold it deeper. But I'm going to keep a flat back here. And if you've got, osteoporosis or something like that, you don't want to come too deep in this one anyway, and you definitely want to keep a flat back. Now, as we're about the halfway point here, if you have a back where it's okay to kind of come into that forward flexion, you could do that here. But again, if you've got osteoporosis or something like that, you want to keep the back flat. You always just want to follow your body. Noticing where you feel it in pain, numbness, tingling, burning, anywhere you want to come out or back off until those sensations are no longer present. And then from here, good. Remember, we never want to just jerk out of a pose. We're just going to gently come out and come back here. Excellent work. So from here, we're going to go into pigeon pose. Now in yin pose, it's called swan, not confused with the Pilates swan. Those are different ones. But I'm going to take this blanket. I'm going to fold it up just like this. And so because we're going to be here a little bit longer than maybe we would in a more of vinyasa style practice, I want my hips to be a little bit more supported here. So I'm going to use that with a folded blanket. And so this is going to counter those of you that went into flexion with that last one with some extension here. Good. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take, it's going to be the right side that we work first. So I'm just going to come kind of forward here with that foot. Good. I'm just going to let that foot just kind of travel over. Good. So now this blanket is supporting both hips, and I want both hips to be squared forward. Both hips are on the blanket for support. This leg here is in a 45-degree angle. So we're no longer teaching, taking that thin parallel to the edge of the mat. And then from here, you can be upright. This back leg, this left leg, I'm really reaching back. Good. I'm just going to breathe. Oh, and we're going to do this for 3 minutes. You can also have some props underneath you here, if you did want to kind of sink down in there. But I'm going to try to be right here. I might come onto forearms at some point. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a block. If you don't have blocks, folded blankets, pillows, cushions, they all work equally well. And then just breathing. And maybe you want to just kind of ease in a little bit. You kind of do a little sway to side. Belly button is into the spine. If you're lifted, you're going to be in a slight extension of the spine here. A little bit of a back bend is another way to say that. And like anything else, any pain, numbness, tingling, burning, if you feel like your leg is going to go to sleep here or something like that, then we want to back off. And something else too. So some of you might even need 2 blankets instead of just one. So even though I'm okay with one, you might need 2 depending on your body. From here, I think I'm going to come to my forearm now. Less than a minute to go. Really expand that rib cage if you can on those breaths. Slow, deep breath. Relaxing through the face. If you're on your hands or your forearms, careful not to hang in the shoulder. Find your support. Good. And then from here, really gently want to come out of there. I'm going to roll over onto my right side, coming out. Good. And coming off. So from here, and I'm just going to lengthen out this right leg here for a moment. Just a little bit of a counter to that. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that all to the other side. So I've got my blanket here. Again, use two if you think you need more than one. Different bodies need different things. Some of you might even need three, depending on how tight you are. I'm going to take the left foot forward. Good. I'm just going to let that kind of slide over. Good. So now both hips are supported. My hips are squared forward. Forward meaning both hips are kind of parallel forward. I've got a 45-degree angle in my shin. I'm reaching this back leg back. Good. I'm zipped up and in. Good. Belly button is in. And breathing. And so this is swan or pigeon. Coming all the way down into that fold to the floor. It's called sleeping swan or sleeping pigeon. Which you can certainly do if you would like, but I'm going to encourage you to try to do the same thing on the side that you did on the other side so that you train evenly. And another modification here, if you tried this on the other side and it didn't work and you're trying it on this side and it's just not working, come onto your back and find a figure four and just let the ankle rest at the knee. And then at about the halfway point or the last minute, you can pull into the chest if you want that. It's the same kind of hip opener. It's just a little bit different on the joint, and there's no back strain with that one if you're feeling that. So there's always a way to, for the most part, to make something work. It's got to be patient. You just got to look for it. And we're at the halfway point now. And sometimes when we work along the liver meridians and the lines, again, sometimes anger can come up, anxiety can come up. So just breathe through that. Let it be there. You're a human being. You're going to feel things. Let it be there and just breathe through it. Breathe through it. Sometimes when I do these, when I feel anxiety and anger come up and kind of look at it as a way of my body trying to get rid of something, clear itself of something that's no longer serving it. And just breathe through it. Less than 30 seconds now. Oh, and then again, I'm just going to roll over to my left side now, letting that come out of there. And then I'm going to come back on all fours. Good. And just reach that left leg back here. Good. Good. So now we're going to come into deer pose. Deer pose. So for this one, I want to sit on a blanket as well. Not everybody needs to sit on a blanket for this one, but if you know off the bat that your hips are tight, they're still a little tight after doing that hip opener we just did, then you might want to sit up on a blanket or a pillow. Good. So from here, going into here, let's hold this be 2 minutes each. So I'm going to give you a couple ways to sit here for deer. So the easier way is just both feet just kind of come out to the side, and then you'll do your twists accordingly. And then if you're familiar with the like Pilates Z sit, kind of want to sit on an edge of a blanket just so that this leg or like whatever doesn't get tangled up in there. It's going to kind of come here. And then so you've got like this little Z position. So from here, good. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And for this first part, this is going to be 2 minutes. We're going to twist this way to the direction of this knee. We're going to twist this way. And then for the final minute, I'm going to give you an option if you want to fold down in there. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do this because I forgot to do it before we started. And breathing, you want that length. You want to roll the shoulders back. And try not to grip to this hip over here. Good. And then those of you that want to kind of move into a little bit of a sleeping deer, if you will, just kind of watch these hips. Sometimes they have a tendency to lift. You want to try not to lift. You can build yourself up and you can come down a little bit if you'd like. Yes, come here. Breathe and expand. And for the last 15 seconds, this top leg, if you want to move it just a little bit further behind you, as wherever you're at, see if that makes a difference anywhere. And then from here, if you took that little fold, we'll come up out of that first, and then come out of the twist. And then before we go to the other side, good, take your feet, move forward, hands behind, nice long back, get a little windshield wiper here. The belly button is in nice and tight, nice and tight. And when you're ready, we're going to take that fold to the other side. So knowing I'm going to do that fold on the other side as well, so I train evenly, I'm just going to take my stack over here. Good. And so now, kind of being mindful, you can be here, or and take that over here. And then once you're ready, nice and tall, good. Just rotate to the knee side. Should be the opposite rotation of the what you just did before. Breathing. Keeping the shoulders down and back as best as you can. And the more you turn your head here, the more you're going to kind of get a nice little stretch through this line. We're at the halfway point now. So if you want to take that fold, you can take that fold in. Breathing and expanding again. You noticing how the side compares to the other side when you did it? Is it tighter, more open? Is it about the same? If you come up on the last 15 seconds, get this leg right here. If you want to take it back just a little bit, you can. Just kind of notice how that feels. Might feel completely different on one side than the other. Doesn't feel as good to me on this side as it did on the other side. I'm going to bring that knee back in. And then we'll gently come up. Good. And come back to center. So we're going to take that windshield wipers again. Good. Hands behind, nice long spine, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to prepare for Binyanasana. Binyanasana. So we're going to come onto our backs now. So I'm going to take one of these blankets, I think, as a little neck pillow here. And then I'm going to clear the rest of the space. So from here, as you come onto your back, good. We're going to do this 2 minutes on each side. Take a moment for you just any clothing you need. If you need to wiggle, 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 knees into the chest, give yourself what it needs. And then we're going to take the legs long here. Good. And the arms are going to be long behind us. Good. Now, we're going to kind of arc this way. So this is going to be like kind of the crescent. So I'm going to pick up my upper body, take it over to my right. My right hand is going to grab the left hand, and then my right leg is going to come out. Left leg can come alongside it or cross over. Good. Now you want to try not to lift the left shoulder up. We want that to be grounded. Good. And then we'll be here for 2 minutes. Yeah. Breathing, expanding. Breathing. As you're here, if you feel yourself start to open up, maybe you can take the arms and legs over just a little bit more, maybe not. Different people open up in different ways at different paces. And all of that is normal and okay. Good. And then from here, good. I'm going to release my grip. I'm going to take the upper body up and back center, uncross the legs, take them back in. Good. Find a nice full body stretch. Maybe take the knees into the chest here for a moment. And then we're going to take that to the other side. So from here, getting nice and long. Good. Left hand's going to grab the right wrist. I'm going to pick up the upper body, taking it over to the left. Sliding the left leg to the left. The right leg will come alongside it or cross over. Good. And then breathing and expanding. Nice Binyanasana here. as far as ways that you can help cleanse the liver and the gallbladder, make sure that you're eating lots of fruits and veggies, prioritizing rest, and watch your saturated fat content. So a lot of us are going to be eating a turkey soon. Just kind of be mindful of some of that. Also watch your sugar intake. If you choose alcohol, drink water with your alcohol. Good. And then from here, we'll take the upper body back to center. Good. We'll undo the cross if you took that. Find that nice full body stretch. And again, if you need to bring anything in, just rock, rock, rock. I decided to. Our final pose before Shavasana is a supine twist. And we're going to keep this pretty basic, but I want a blanket between my knees here. Just they're a little bit more comfy. I'll make sure that my feet are on this blanket too, so they're a little bit more comfy. Good. So from here, once we're ready, and we're going to do this for 3 minutes on each side. So be mindful. Good. I'm going to let my knees go over here to the right. Good. And I'm going to look to the left. And I'm going to breathe right here. Sometimes I get asked about if there's some vegetables that are better for liver health than others as far as cleaning it up goes. Beets are really good for help cleansing the liver, cleansing the blood. Your cruciferous vegetables, so that's going to be like your broccoli, your cauliflower, kale, collard greens. Those are all going to be great for helping cleanse the liver from a vegetable perspective. But any vegetable, honestly, will help cleanse the liver. Those just help us a little bit more. They bind with some of the chemicals and toxins that we want to detox from the liver to help it flush a little bit. Here, we're going to take the head back to center. Good, because I've got a blanket here. I'm going to take one knee back to center. Put that blanket to the side, bring the knees into the chest. Gentle wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then we're going to take that to the other side. So if taking the knees over to the side with the blanket in between them is too hard, you can always just go ahead and take it, twist, and then put the blanket there once you're there. So again, always find the way that works best for you. So from here, I'm going to take the knees over to my left, looking to my right. And a big breath. And so what fruits might be best for the liver? Well, all of them are going to be good, just like the vegetables, but your lower glycemic index fruits that don't have as much sugar in them are going to be a little bit better. So that's going to be like your apples, um, all of your berries, so strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, all of those cranberries. Cranberries will help with the liver as well as with the urinary tract system. So cranberries are very great for that. Some pears can be good for cleansing and healing. And also, don't slather your berries with extra sugar or whipped cream or things like that. That kind of is counterintuitive of what you're trying to do, cleaning up the liver. It's a popular way to eat it, but um, you know, you want to give yourself as much help as possible. So don't add more taxing things to the liver if you're trying to clean it up. And then from here, once you're ready, we'll come back center with the head, one leg at a time. We'll come back center here. Just kind of bring the knees in and rock, rock, rock. We'll take a short shavasana here. So you can bring in anything that you would like to help you with your shavasana today. I'm going to stack my remaining two blankets and take them under my thighs here. So you're going to see me do this way here. This may not be the way you get there, but you can bring that in here. Takes the place of a bolster when you don't have one. Just roll the shoulders back. And you can also be in a constructive rest by bending the knees. I'll leave you here for a few short moments. You can stay here longer if you'd like. And take some deep breaths here. And you choose to stay here, breathing a little bit deeper, or maybe inviting movement of the fingers and the toes, or gently taking head and neck from side to side. You can choose the stillness or bringing the knees into the chest, or maybe you'd like to move props out of the way if you used any today, and finding another a full body stretch, reaching from the fingertips to toes. And then once ready, bending in both knees and rolling over to the right or left side, the side that works best in this moment, taking all the time that you need. And when you're ready, then we'll press ourselves up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. We'll be started finding length in the torso, palms turning up, reaching up, touching the palms together. Exhale if you bring the hands down, stopping the thumbs at the forehead for good and true thought, to the lips for good and kind word, and to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well. You have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.